In a far stretch of the spiral lanes where ancient trade winds of starlight curled around dying suns, there existed a vast coalition of conquerors who measured their triumphs. Not by years, but by the number of worlds bent to their will, and the coalition had swept through nebulae and star clusters with disciplined fleets and brutal efficiency, leaving behind cultures that whispered of lost skies and broken hopes, and in their great archive a single line burned with grim promise: Earth was next on their list. The coalition believed that the humans of Earth were little more than a scattered species clinging to a blue rock with noisy broadcasts and crude engines, yet the watchers who peered from long-range listening posts had noticed something unusual, a strange consistency in the way humans responded to crisis, and this consistency was not fear but resolve, a stubborn will that refused to bend even when the odds were cruel. And still the coalition council dismissed these signs as romantic myths, for no world had ever truly resisted them on Earth. Cities glimmered beneath the night sky, while satellites glided in silent arcs, and in a modest research complex, a group of human analysts monitored the deep sky for patterns that might hint at danger. Among them was a quiet engineer named Eli, who spent long hours tuning receivers and filters to catch the faintest whisper from the void. And on one such night a signal arrived, not as a clear voice but as a rhythmic pulse beat that seemed to echo through every channel, as if the cosmos itself was knocking Eli. Notice that the pulse did not behave like any known cosmic event. It was too precise, too intentional, and when he ran it through layered algorithms, the pattern revealed a map of coordinates and a message in an alien code that translated into a simple warning. A fleet was moving, and Earth was its target. Discovery spread through Earth's defense network faster than any wildfire, and soon the leaders of nations gathered in urgent councils, not to argue, but to unite, because the signal left no room for doubt. A hostile force was coming, and the planet had only one chance to survive. The humans had no vast armada to match the coalition, yet they had something else, a culture of collaboration and innovation born from centuries of overcoming adversity. And within hours, laboratories shifted from peacetime research to frantic creation. Engineers turned theoretical weapons into practical tools, and scientists found new ways to bend physics in order to protect their home. One of the most brilliant minds involved was a strategist named Noah, who had grown up studying both history and star maps, and Noah understood that brute force alone would not save Earth, so he proposed a plan that was as daring as it was desperate. They would broadcast a single signal into the galaxy, a message so powerful and unexpected that it would change the balance of power before the coalition fleets even arrived. This signal would not be a threat or a plea, but a demonstration, a showcase of human ingenuity and unity. A wave of information that carried proof of technologies that could disrupt any invading force, and it would be sent not only to the coalition but to every listening species in the galaxy, turning Earth from a target into a symbol. As the days passed, the incoming fleet grew closer, and fear ran like an undercurrent through every human heart. Yet instead of breaking them, it sharpened their focus. And when the moment came, the great transmitters on Earth roared to life, releasing a cascade of data that rippled across space faster than any ship could. Travel in the council chambers of the coalition, alarms blared as the signal arrived, overwhelming their sensors and flooding their networks with images and equations that revealed startling truths. Humanity had harnessed energy in ways thought impossible, had found methods to fold space and manipulate gravity, and had built defensive systems that could turn the void itself into a shield. More shocking still was the evidence of human cooperation where other species had fractured under pressure. Humans had united, and this unity amplified their strength beyond simple numbers. The coalition leaders argued among themselves, some insisting the data was a deception, others realizing that even if half of it was true, the cost of attacking Earth would be catastrophic. And as they debated, reports poured in from other worlds who had received the same signal. Many were inspired, many were outraged at the coalition for their endless conquests, and many began to mobilize in support of Earth. The balance of power shifted not through battle, but through perception. Earth was no longer alone. Blue Dot, it was the heart of a rising alliance, As the Coalition fleet approached the outskirts of the solar system, they found themselves facing not just human defenses, but a growing armada of liberated worlds and neutral powers who had decided that enough was enough, and in this tense standoff, the humans held their ground, not with arrogance, but with quiet determination. Noah and Eli watched from the command center as the first Coalition ships slowed and then stopped their engines. The message had been received not just by machines, but by minds, and in that moment the galaxy trembled, not from fear, but from the realization that a new force had emerged, one that fought not to dominate, but to protect. The Coalition eventually withdrew, marking the first time in its long history that it had been turned away without a single shot fired, and as their ships vanished into the dark, the story of Earth spread across the stars, a tale of a small world that had dared to speak loudly and had been heard. In the years that followed, humanity took its place among the galactic community, not as conquerors, but as partners helping rebuild worlds scarred by the Coalition and forging alliances that valued freedom and cooperation, and the signal that had once been a desperate gamble became a symbol of hope, replayed in countless systems as a reminder that even the smallest voice can shake the universe when it speaks with unity. And Kurgili returned to his quiet lab, still tuning receivers, but now he listened not just for danger, but for friends, and Noah continued to guide Earth's strategy, ensuring that the lessons of that pivotal moment were never forgotten, and across the galaxy, beings of all kinds looked to Earth as proof that resistance did not always require war. Sometimes it required a single brave message sent into the unknown. Thus the title Earth was next on their list, until one signal made the galaxy tremble became more than a story. It became a chapter in the living history of the stars, a testament to the human spirit, and a beacon for all who believed that even in a vast and often cruel cosmos, hope could still rise like a bright new sun.